everyone, and welcome into another episode of A Walk with the Warhawks. Today's episode is presented by Raising Cane's, located on South Clack Street, right here in Abilene. Stop by their location on South Clack, get some chicken, support the Warhawks, and support Raising Cane's. I'm Mike Ezekiel, the host of the show. Today's guest is a guy that I talk to quite frequently on the pitch, off the pitch, around campus. He's a men's soccer player. He's a senior, and his name is DJ Jaime. DJ, welcome to A Walk with the Warhawks.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
Yes, sir. It's good to finally have you on the show, and we'll just get right into it, man, and just talk about your senior season, men's soccer coming up. It's going to be in the spring, obviously a little bit different than what you're used to as a soccer player. But despite all the circumstances, how excited are you to be a senior and to head into this season?
I'm actually really excited. I mean, one thing that people don't really think about is the weather. I mean, the weather will probably be a lot better. I'm a big supporter of like having it year round. So I think this will be a good opportunity to show that it could do really well in the spring. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited with the team that we have right now, how practices have been going and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really excited.
DJ, I really like that you're finding the positives in this situation. Once again, one thing that kind of stands out, you said the weather. I believe on the high school level, they actually sometimes do play in the spring. Is that correct?
Yeah. So actually going into high school, I didn't know this, but it's strictly like just in the spring. So you have like tryouts around like winter break, and then you come back for the spring semester, and that's when everything starts up. But I had to change that to the fall, and it's not bad. I enjoy it. It's a season. So
right, absolutely. I'm sure it's kind of has to be a little bit odd, going from a high school spring season to immediately a college fall season, but now it's almost like now you're going back to a spring season as a senior. So but let's talk a little bit about the team. A lot of young guys. It's a very young team, a lot of newcomers, you being one of the only seniors on the team, very few this year, but just talk about what it's been like trying to get the chemistry going despite all that's going on with COVID, and how things have gone so far with that.
I mean, really right now with the chemistry, it's really just about understanding how each one of us plays just as an individual and knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses. So that way we can like counteract it for, the upcoming season. I mean, it is a little different. Still doing a lot of our culture side of it, of how we want to play and what kind of team we want to be. But that comes just with, attitudes and how we look at our practices every day. I mean, every practice so far has been very positive. But then again, it's just learning about each other right now.
That's great. Talk about maybe some, personal goals that you have for yourself as a senior, and, just talk about maybe what the expectation is this year for the team.
I mean, my personal goal is just to do my role. The defensive mid, just doing my role, what I have to do for the team. And honestly, the personal goals, they'll come as long as I'm doing what I need to do for the team. So I'm not really worried about personal goals. I'm more of overall, how can I get my team in the best position that we can.
Sounds good. Final thing for you, you graduate, I believe, in May. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that it kind of works out good for you that you do graduate in May after the season's over. But, just talk about what your plans are after graduation and what you plan to do as you move on.
Actually, I'm starting to look at becoming a grad assistant, going to college, get my school paid for. So that's my next goal of what I want to do. Other than that, we'll just have to see. Not really sure where I want to go yet, but.
Okay. So when you say graduate assistant, I assume that means coaching soccer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, that's good. Well, DJ, are you ready for rapid fire?
I am.
All right. Rapid fire. All right, DJ, this is it. It's time for rapid fire. It's been talked up very well. How much have you heard about rapid fire?
I've heard about it a lot. I've been waiting for it.
Well, you're on the hot seat now. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
First thing I got to ask you as a defensive midfielder, because you mentioned that in the previous segment, what's more satisfying for you as a defensive mid? Scoring a goal making the big assist, like dishing out an assist, or making a big defensive stop?
For me, it's making a big defensive stop. Just because I'm more defensive minded, it's more of what I do. Clearing a ball off the line or laying out my body and taking one to the face or the chest, I get more of an adrenaline rush from that than scoring a goal or getting an assist.
So with your dream scenario, say like, you're dreaming and you're playing like, in the Premier League or something, like your ultimate like moment would be a big defensive stop at the last play of the game or something.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll take that.
Awesome. I love it. All right. So if you could play another sport other than soccer, what would it be?
I have two. I'd either still be playing football and kicking or go back to baseball. I stopped baseball in high school because of the seasons with soccer and baseball being at the same in the spring. I'd probably be doing one of those two.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. So you did play football as well. And, what was that like for you, I guess, as a kicker, going from kicking footballs during football season into the spring kicking soccer balls? Is it kind of different? Do you have to like
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. The technique is a lot different. So when I go from one to the other, it kind of messes me up a little bit. But then, after a while, I go back to being normal, basically.
Gotcha. All right. Do you have like a guilty pleasure go-to movie or a guilty pleasure song that you like?
I wouldn't say one particular one. I mean, artist, I guess. Chance the Rapper. I like Chance the Rapper. The movie Miracle. I like that movie.
Oh, it's a
very good movie. Love it. But yeah, I guess those are my two.
I take it you're kind of a hockey guy like I am.
A little bit.
Okay, yeah. Miracle maybe is one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, it's top 5.
It's a great movie.
When you're not on the practice field or in class or in the weight room, because I see you in those 3 places very often, what do you like to do as hobbies?
Hobbies, honestly, just watch games with friends. Just like being around with my friends. I mean, I don't need to do much as long as I'm having a good time. It's not a really big deal. Obviously, me and my friends were watching the Stars a lot during this quarantine, and it was just exciting to have something on and watching it with them.
What a good run they had, too.
They did.
It was crazy to watch. Even as a fan of the rival team, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of teams you root for, you mentioned the Stars. What are some of your other favorite pro sports teams, and kind of how did you come to the conclusion of who you root for?
Being from Dallas, I'm a big FC Dallas fan. I watch a lot what they do with their youth academies and stuff like that, how they build players through the youth academy and they end up being on the first team. I think it's really exciting just to see the progress, what they do. And then probably like a bigger team would probably be like Liverpool, even though they had a bad week this weekend. But yeah, those would be my two.
Gotcha. All right. So very soccer oriented for sure.
Oh, yes.
All right. Final thing for you, DJ. What is your favorite thing about McMurry?
Favorite thing about McMurry is probably the people that I've met there. I know I'm in Kosari, but I've met people from different social clubs as well as different sports, and the faculty as well. I mean, they help me out with anything that I need. So honestly, just the people that I've met, it's been a great environment, been a great place for me. So yeah, that's what I like most about McMurry.
Well, it does seem like you've been very well connected at this university. You know a lot of people, as you just said, and and that's what McMurry gives you, man. It really allows you to connect with so many different people. It's such a diverse campus, and you're a big part of that, DJ. And appreciate you sharing that. And thank you for coming on the show.
Oh no, thanks for having me. This has been a blast.
Yeah, it has, man. And we'll have to do more of this more often. I know you talked about doing some podcasting and some other things.
Yeah.
Excited to hear about some of that, and excited to see where things progress for you as we move forward.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, tune in next week for another episode of A Walk with the Warhawks. For DJ Jaime, I'm Mike Ezekiel. Have a good day.